Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Hon, back once again with another Dungeons & Dragons character conversion. Today we are doing a viewer request, General Grevious. And I do apologize, I do not know how to pronounce your name. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do your request for General Grevious. We are going to do this because of National Star Wars Day, which is technically tomorrow. And there's also 2 other Star Wars days. The first of the 3 is May the 4th, as in May the 4 be with you. Then there is May the 5th and May the 6th, both being contenders for Revenge of the Sith. Even though I think the 6th is a lot better than the 5th. But either way, we're doing National Star Wars Week. Today is General Grevious. Tomorrow is going to be for May the 4th. And then on Thursday, we will have a Revenge of the Sith. And if I am able to, I might do one for the 6th as well, just so I please both sides of that argument. Even though I personally am for the side of the 6th, rather than the 5th. But anyway, let's go ahead and start off this build for General Grevious, the Cyborg that works for the Empire. Starting things off with our stats, we use the point-buy system around here. Strength will be a 12, Dexterity is going to be our highest stat at 15, Constitution and Charisma are both 10, considered our dump stat, and Wisdom and Intelligence are both 13. Now, General Grevious is what is known as a Kaleesh, a reptilian humanoid of his planet. But he is also a cyborg, so we have to take that into consideration. For the stats, go ahead and increase Dexterity, Intelligence, and Wisdom each by 1. Go ahead and get that out of the way before we get into what race we actually want. We're doing this because of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, allowing us to take either the 2 points in one stat and 1 point in another stat, or just doing 1 point in 3 different stats. That is why we have this setup. Now, we're going to have to look at Tal'Dorei Reborn for the exact race combination, because they have the mixed ancestry mechanics in that book. So we do know that he's a cyborg, which means we're going to be using Warforged as part of the mixed ancestry, quote-unquote. And like I said, the Kaleesh are reptilian in nature, which is kind of unfortunate, since there are very few reptilian creatures that we can pick from. The turtle, the kobold, the dragonborn, and of course, lizard folk. But then I thought, that's kind of lame, and I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of viewers out there who would complain about this. So I thought to myself, surely there's some Star Wars third-party material for Dungeons & Dragons. And it turns out there is. If you go to the site sw5e.com, Star Wars 5th Edition, it takes you to the site of Star Wars 5th Edition, where they have a lot of material for Star Wars-esque mechanics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, using the mechanics of 5th Edition. Now, there is a Star Wars RPG out there, and maybe someday I will go over it. But for now, we're going to be using the 5th edition material that this website and its creators have created for us. And thankfully, one of the races that they have available is the Kaleesh. The Kaleesh actually gives us some very good abilities. Dark vision of 60 feet, some weapon training, which they have some vibro weapons and a blaster as the weapon proficiencies we have, which actually makes sense for General Grevious, because before he became a cyborg, he actually learned how to use a gun, a blaster. And his father had him take his anger out on the invading people. And he had killed so much that all the other Kaleesh thought of him as a demigod. Very interesting stuff for General Grevious's backstory. Anyway, moving on, we get keen smell, so we have proficiency in wisdom survival when it comes to smell. And, well, we have advantage on those rolls. And we also get the tracker feature, which gives us expertise when we are trying to track something that has a scent. So pretty good. For languages, it says Galactic Basic, which I believe is the Star Wars 5th edition version of Common. And we also get the language of the Kaleesh. Now, for our Warforged mix, I actually took out Tracker and implemented the integrated protection from the Warforged, as specified in Tal'Dorei Reborn. Moving on to background, we're going to grab a faction agent, since he does work with the Empire and Count Dooku. For proficiencies, we'll get Insight and Intimidation. We get 2 languages of our choice. Pick whatever you think is reasonable for your General Grevious character. You also get the feature known as Safe Haven. If anybody else is working for the Empire, you'll be able to stay there with no problems. Now for our classes, we're going to start off with Fighter. This will give us a D10 hit die, starting to hit points at 10 since we don't have anything above a 10 on our Constitution. For our skills, grab Athletics and Acrobatics. Your fighting style is going to be 2-weapon fighting. Since, you like to wield 2 lightsabers. Lightsabers that you've collected from the Jedi you have slain. You also get the feature Second Wind. Level 2 fighters get an Action Surge, and level 3 fighters get a Martial Archetype. I'm going to go with Battle Master, much like how our viewer suggested. But I thought about this before I re-looked at the viewer request. And I'm not doing the exact maneuvers that they requested as well, because I think that these are a little bit better. For our combat superiority, we get maneuvers, grab Brace, Riposte, and Sweeping Attack. Brace allows you to attack anything that moves within your range. Riposte lets you attack as a reaction if your foe misses an attack against you. Sweeping Attack allows you to attack 2 creatures whenever you make a melee attack. So both Brace and Riposte would allow our General Grevious to attack 2 creatures. You also get a tool proficiency from being a Battle Master, 1 type of Artisan's tools. Now, our viewer, Law Complete Psycho... Oh, ha 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 ha. Complete Psychopath. You're funny. Anyway, he suggested of doing a Swashbuckler Rogue. Unfortunately, we are not going to be doing that, because a lot of people are watching this video to get them 4 arms. So, let's try to figure out how to do that. We're going to start off by multi-classing into Monk. This will give us a D8 hit die, another D8 plus Constitution modifier, extra hit points. We get Unarmored Defense, which is pretty good, especially when compared with the Integrated Protection from our Warforge, which gives us another +1 to our AC. We also get Martial Arts, which lets us do a lot of good stuff. Level 4 fighters get an ability score improvement or a feat. We're going to grab a feat. We're grabbing Dual Wielder, which makes our 2-weapon fighting that much more powerful. Level 2 monks get Key, which has a save DC of 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. We get Unarmored Movement, which lets us move even faster. And Dedicated Weapon, which lets us have any weapon that we have proficiency with become a monk weapon, such as our lightsaber, which, by the way, fun fact, the Sunblade is the closest magic item you can get for a lightsaber, and it counts as a finesse weapon. So you will be able to use your dexterity for attack rolls and damage rolls. And thanks to both having dual wielder and 2-weapon fighting, we are able to dual wield 2 Sunblades. I actually have that for my own Jedi-like character. It's hilarious. I haven't used it yet. I am saving it for a more opportune moment. But it's still very awesome. Level 3 Monk. Now we have our arms. Monastic Tradition of Way of the Astral Self. We get the feature known as Arms of the Astral Self. This gives us 2 astral arms. We get to choose what they look like, so we could just say they are mechanical arms. And damage with these arms deal force damage. Now, it doesn't say that they can hold weapons, but if you ask your dungeon master nicely, they probably can. Nicely. Additionally, it says that they deal force damage, so honestly, I don't think you would want to wield any more lightsabers. Would you be able to attack with more swords, with more arms? Probably not. You could probably flavor it as such when you do some extra attacks and such, but other than that, I don't think it's possible. You also get the feature Deflect Missiles. You get to decrease the amount of damage you take from a projectile attack. And if you manage to drop that damage to 0, you catch the missile and throw it back at your foe. This could be a laser blast at your lightsaber, which you deflect back at your opponent. And we're going to have a little more fun with that feature here in a moment. Level 4 monks get Slow Fall, Quickened Healing, and an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your dexterity by 2. Level 5 fighters get an extra attack. Level 6 fighters get an ability score improvement. Max out your dexterity to 20. Level 7 fighter gets Know Your Enemy and some more maneuvers. Evasive Footwork and Parry. Parry lets you decrease the damage that you take from an attack even more, letting your deflect missiles, deflect more often. And your Evasive Footwork will add to your AC while you are moving. So you'll be able to not get hit by an attack while you're trying to flee the battle. Level 8 fighters get another ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your wisdom by 2, making it a 16. Level 5 monks would get extra attack, but we already got that from fighters, so it doesn't count. We also get Stunning Strike. Level 6 monks. Level 6 monks get Key Empowered Strikes, and thanks to our Way of the Astral Self, we get Visage of the Astral Self, which gives us a bit more of a power boost from our Astral Self. Level 7 monks get evasion and stillness of mind. We now have advantage on saving throws made for charming and frightening. Level 8 monks get an ability score improvement. Increase your wisdom to 18. Level 9 fighters get indomitable. Level 10 fighters get improved combat superiority. Level 11 fighters get another extra attack, so we get a total of 3 attacks per attack action. And finally, level 12 fighters get an ability score improvement. Increase your wisdom to 20. And that is going to do it for today's build, my dear viewers. I do hope that you enjoyed. And Complete Psychopath, I hope you enjoyed this build. I know it's not exactly what you were hoping for, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. Until next time, this has been Drehon, and I am offline.